Hey everybody, how we doing? Second day of online learning. I hope you guys are all treating your teachers well. Teachers, I hope students aren't giving you too much trouble. And students, you got to remember, under these new rules in Florida, with the online learning and the dropping of all the testing, your parents have the authority to decide whether you move on to the next grade or you have to repeat this one. So be good to mom and dad right now because it's an important time. We wish you all the best on the studies and hope everything's getting worked out with all the bugs they had with technology yesterday. I hope you're having a much better day today. Just wanted to touch base with you again, share a little bit of fun from God's Word. As a lot of you know, I'm from the Pittsburgh area, and they do this thing every winter in this little town called Punxsutawney, where this groundhog comes out and looks for a shadow. And if he finds his shadow, it means one thing. If he doesn't, it means something else. Well, this year, the groundhog proclaimed that we would have an early spring. And you know what? He was right. Sometimes, it seems like most of the time, it's 6 more weeks of winter. But this year, he nailed the early spring. It has been hot like crazy down here. We've already had 4 days in the 90s, and I think like almost half the month of March, we had temperatures of 88 or higher. So yeah, spring has come really early this year. But what the groundhog forgot to tell us, or that maybe they cut him off before he finished, was that we were going to have 6 weeks of quarantine coming up. That one caught us all off guard. But you know, we just learned yesterday that the closing of schools is now extended through May 1st. Hang in there. We're going to get through this. And you guys are doing a great job. And so I just want to encourage you, keep plowing through, and we are going to make it through this. But I wanted to share something with you this morning. Going around the house, and I'm sure you guys all know what this is. And I don't know if you've been to a store lately, but this is a hard thing to find right now. And I was starting to think about, the people that went out and bought like 200 rolls of toilet paper at the beginning of all this. And looking back into the story of Exodus, the people are wandering through the desert, and they're looking for food. And so God provides this incredible gift to them. We're in chapter 16 of Exodus, starting at verse 4. And it says, "Then the Lord said to Moses, 'Look, I'm going to rain down food from heaven for you. Each day the people can go out and pick up as much food as they need for that day. I will test them in this to see whether or not they will follow my instructions. And on the 6th day, they will gather food, and when they prepare it, there will be twice as much as usual.'" Pretty straightforward instructions. They didn't really follow them too well. And we see this as we flip over to verse 19. It says, "Then Moses told them, 'Do not keep any of it until morning.' But some of them didn't listen, and they kept some of it until morning. But by then, it was full of maggots, and it had a terrible smell. And Moses was very angry with them." What they were doing, they were hoarding. And it just goes to show us that human nature hasn't changed all that much in thousands of years. They were trying to gather as much as they could. And then all of a sudden, it started to stink. Now, fortunately, if you went out and bought lots of toilet paper, it doesn't stink yet. At least not until you use it, but that's a whole other story. We don't want to go there. But the people that have bought all that toilet paper are starting to stink to the people that can't find it. You go into the store and there's still, after weeks of this, there's no toilet paper available on the shelves. And so I've heard some people say, I knew I had to buy all that stuff because I knew there was going to be a shortage. No, there really wouldn't have been a shortage if you hadn't bought 3,000 rolls of toilet paper. All right? But we need to work together on this. When you go to the store, get what you need. Don't get enough to last you forever, because that stuff doesn't last forever. I saw somebody buying 8 bags of grapes. Unless they got about 50 people in their house, those grapes are going to go rotten before they can use them all. But get what you need. All right? God supplies our needs, but He doesn't want us to be stinkers about it. This is not going to turn into maggots. All right? But we become a stench when we become hoarders instead of sharers of what God has for us. So I hope you keep that in mind as we move forward. I'll be in touch again in a couple of days. But remember, don't be a stinker today. Love you guys. Talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.